Hey, hi, hello, welcome back. It's exciting today because I'm going to be talking about something that I'm really passionate about and something that's really important in the world right now, and I feel like a lot of people don't have a lot of the resources to learn some of the things about this topic. So I'm going to tell you, we're going to talk about it, okay? We're going to talk about it one-to-one. Civil human beings. We're going to talk about abortion, okay? No one's going to get mad. I might get mad, but we're going to talk about it, and that's going to be that. So, if you don't know, the world is going to right now because men in the government, and women, there are women in the government that are against this as well, so I don't want to exclude those people, but the men and women in the government, in Congress, in the state senate, or whatever the men and women, mostly men, in Congress, in the government, are trying to take away women's rights to an abortion. If you don't know what an abortion is, it's a medical procedure that removes a fetus from the mother, right? Removes the parasite, gone, she's good. That's basically what it is. It's a traumatizing procedure, just to put that out there. Not a fun one, not one procedure that anybody wants to get, right? Where do I even start? I guess, so people are against abortion, right? Because it kills babies. Okay, let's play with that for a little bit. The fetus, right? The little tiny baby fetus. This is what it looks like in the first trimester. Just a little clump of cells, kind of started to grow a head and a little arms, right? For the most part of that trimester, though, it's just a clump of cells. It hasn't developed anything. It's just kind of there. You know, it's just kind of there. So people don't like abortion because it's killing babies. But most abortions, 90% of abortions happen in the first trimester, which is perfect. That's good. The baby barely has a heartbeat. Doesn't even have brain function, so it doesn't know anything. So it doesn't have a brain, not yet. Heart's probably a little bit developed, but I'll talk about the whole heart-brain thing later. So people don't like it because it's killing babies, but it's basically just a clump of cells that sits in your uterus and occupies and feeds from you. Babies in the womb, or fetuses in the womb, are basically parasites. Look up the definition of a parasite. I'll put the definition right here. Parasite, baby. Parasite, baby. Same thing. Same thing, right? I'm right? Okay, I figured. So people in the government and in the whatever part of the government it's in, I don't know, okay? I want to say it's Congress, but I don't know because I don't know. Okay? I don't know because I don't know. But basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to take away the right, the choice, the option for a woman to get an abortion for any reason. Any reason. Rape and incest included, which is bullshit, and I'll talk about that a little bit later as well. They want to take the right for women to choose what they can do with their own bodies. They want to take that away. They want want us to not even have the option to do what we want with our own bodies. They don't want it. They just want to control us, right? That's what the whole thing's about, is control. Because there's so many factors that go into this, and they don't care about any of them. They just think it's wrong because it's killing babies. Let's talk about some of the reasons as to why people get an abortion, okay? Number one, no one wants to get one. They have to for XYZ, right? No one wants to get one. It's not something that you're like, oh, found out I was pregnant, I'm gonna go get an abortion. Like, no. There's other things, there's other circumstances that go into playing as to why someone can get an abortion. Here's my list. Number two. The mother doesn't want a baby. The mother doesn't want children at all, period, point blank, period. And that's fine. Most women want babies, some women don't want babies, and that's fine. You're not on this earth as a woman or as a person with a uterus to reproduce. That's not your purpose, right? You're just here to live your life, go on doing whatever you're doing. You don't have to reproduce. And I hate the stigmatism that thinks that all women want children. No, they do not. Most women don't want kids. Their mental health isn't stable enough for them to provide for a child. I know that if I got pregnant right now, there's no way I'm in the headspace to take care of our child. There's no way. Up here, a war zone. Nothing but dark thoughts. This is not safe for a baby at the moment. My medication, my therapy's helping, but that's not enough for me to be good enough to have a baby right now. Right? Okay, the mother could have schizophrenia or bipolar disorder or blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. They have bad mental health issues. Perfect example. Perfectly good reason to get an abortion, right? Perfect. Sounds good to me. Another reason, their husband raped them. Their husband, or just a man, raped them in general. But a lot of the times people don't think about it, that husbands can rape their spouses and they can still get pregnant from that, and that's still rape. Just because you're married doesn't mean you gave consent at the freaking altar. You have to give consent every time. And if it's not every time, then it's rape. So I hate to say that, but there are those circumstances as well. Incest. Incest is another great example. People do not seem to remember or think that incest is a thing and that uncles and fathers and grandfathers can rape and molest their grandchildren, their daughters, their nieces, their nephews. Like, that can happen. It's a very good possibility. And by the time that happens, they're probably children, which is another reason as to why people get an abortion, because they're literally children. Like, people don't realize, I don't know if y'all know this, but periods, the thing that starts before you can start having kids, that's what starts, anyways. Women, girls, can get their period as young as 9 years old. If a 9-year-old was raped and got pregnant and then forced to have that child, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. I 100% think that the government should choose that option. They should choose that option. Get rid of it. Get rid of abortion, because it's God's will that she got pregnant. If I'm talking about abortion or death or something and someone says it's God's will, I don't think so. I don't think that's how this works, right? Because God has a plan, supposedly, has a plan for all of us, a plan for our life, and the plan that we choose to take, right? A 9-year-old girl gets raped and gets pregnant. That's obviously off the path of what God wanted for her. You really think God wanted a 9-year-old to get raped and get pregnant? You really think that? That's what your God wanted. That's what your God wanted? Sounds like a good God. Sounds like a good God. If you tell me that it's God's will, I'm going to punch you in the face, because I don't believe in that bullshit. Nothing is God's will, right? Nothing is, because we don't follow his directions anyway, so it literally doesn't matter. Hi, Luna. So some more reasons. They don't have the money. They don't have the money to support a child. They don't have the resources to support a child. Say a homeless woman gets raped, or a homeless woman gets pregnant. How is she going to take care of that child? How is she going to take care of it? She's literally living on the streets. How is she going to give that child a good life? She's not, because she can't. Because she doesn't have the resources for it. She doesn't have money to feed the kid. She doesn't have the money to go get formula. She doesn't have the money to even have the kid. Having a baby without insurance is like $10,000. Just to have a kid. I don't know about you, but that's a lot of money that nobody has. Another reason is that it could quite literally kill the mother. Say the fetus got stuck in the fallopian tube where it can't even grow to be an actual baby because it doesn't have room to grow. Sorry, I'm getting heated. Baby fetus in the fallopian tube, right? It's going to quite literally kill the mother, because she either has to take it out, the egg, the fetus, or she dies. And the government wants to not give that woman an option to save her own life. Good, love that. Great choice. It was an accident. say a woman or a person with a uterus gets pregnant. I'm saying person with a uterus because I'm not trying to leave out trans men, because they do have a uterus, correct? So this applies to them as well. It's not just women, it's now trans men. Glad we're clear on that. It was an accident. They don't want to go through with the pregnancy, they don't want to have a baby, they don't want to do this. That's fine. That's literally your choice. You don't have to have a kid. You don't have to have a family. You can do whatever you want with your life. It's literally up to you. They don't have access to birth control, or they don't have enough money, or they, can't afford it, can't get access to it, can't, get on it. So then therefore they're not protected against pregnancy unless the other person wears a condom. But even then, accidents still happen, right? The effectiveness of a condom isn't as effective as the birth control. So there's a whole bunch of factors that go into that too. Say the condom breaks. Oops. Not either of the parties' fault, just an accident. Accidents happen. You can get rid of them. You can fix accidents. Easy. I don't know why this is such a big problem. Going back to it being an accident and getting pregnant, then people bring up the argument, just give it up for adoption. Okay, say we do that. Say the person does that. Now what? Now the kid's gonna live in foster care for the rest of their life until they're 18? That's a good idea. Do you know how many kids are in foster care right now? And do you know how many of the people that say, why don't you just put it up for adoption, have actually adopted kids? Almost none of them. So if that doesn't make you mad, then it should, because the whole point about being against abortion is being pro-life. Pro-life. That's the life inside of that womb. The fetus is a baby. It's a baby and it's living, and it could grow up to be it could grow up to cure cancer. Newsflash, honey. Pretty sure the government already cured cancer. There's no way they haven't cured cancer by now. I just don't think they're giving it to us. They're gatekeeping it from us. That's my personal opinion, but whatever. So many kids are in the foster care system. So many of them live horrible lives. They never learn anything because they're in the foster care system and nobody teaches them anything. So then they get out and then they're like, now what? They don't know anything. They haven't had a parental figure to help them through life, right? They've just been stuck in the foster care system because nobody wants to adopt them. We could stop that right at the source. If you just let women have the option, the choice to do what they want to do with their own bodies. Not that hard. Don't know why that's everybody else's business except for the woman or the person with the uterus. Don't know why it's any of your business what I do with my body, because it quite literally does not affect you. It doesn't affect you. If you want women to have the baby so bad, then why don't you take it? Oh, you don't want a kid? You don't want to have that responsibility? Oh, okay. But she has to do it? But she has to do it. That makes sense. Another thing, so having a forced birth also means that them taking away, hold on. Let me go back to the whole heartbeat brain thing, right? So say someone's in a coma, right? They were doing fine, and then all of a sudden they turn brain dead, right? They will never wake up. They will never be able to provide for themselves ever again, right? And we have the option as a family, or caretaker or spouse or whoever, you have the option to pull the plug and basically kill them medically, right? You have that option because they're brain dead. They can't do anything. They're brain dead. What are you gonna do? They're brain dead. They don't have a brain. And neither do fetuses. So what's the problem? Why is this a problem? I don't get it. I don't understand. So they're brain dead, but they have a heartbeat, right? Because they're still alive, but they're brain dead, and that means that they have no cognitive function, they have no self-awareness, they don't have anything because they're brain dead. But we can still pull the plug on them. But that's killing them. But that kills them because they have a heartbeat. That's killing them, right? Right? From their point of view, on a similar situation, they're situation. Their argument works for that situation, but not for abortion? Interesting. It's almost like they just want to oppress women. It's almost like they don't care about us and we're going back in time. There's so many things that go into it. And at the end of the day, it just boils down to, it's not your body, it's not your choice, right? I can't tell you, no, you can't get that tattoo on your body. That's permanent. That's a permanent tattoo. You can't do that. Your body is a temple. Your body is a temple. The Bible says your body is a temple. But I can get a tattoo because it's my body and I can put whatever I want on it. I've done that. Nobody can tell me I can't because it's my body. It's my choice. I can do whatever I want. But when it comes to getting pregnant, I can't do that because it's no longer my body, my choice. It only matters about the fetus. The mother. The mother doesn't mean anything anymore. She doesn't get a say. She doesn't get anything, even though she's alive. She's breathing. She has a heartbeat. She has a brain. She has consciousness, right? She's alive. Actually here. Fetus is not just a clump of cells. Whatever. Anyways, here are some of the things that are going to happen once this gets overturned. The suicide rates of women, trans men, and non-binary people is going to spike drastically because they feel like that's their only way out. Now that they can't get an abortion, they can't fix it, their only choice is to kill themselves. And I hope that sticks on every person in the government's conscience. I hope that sticks on your conscience, and I hope it makes you feel like a piece of shit, because it is. It does. It should make you feel like a piece of shit, because you are a piece of shit. You can't choose. You can't decide what to do with another person's body because it's literally not yours. I don't understand how people don't get that. And most of the people that are against it are Christians, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm kind of a Christian. I believe in God, but I don't believe in a lot of the things that the Bible tells me. There's a lot of things that go into that whole aspect of my faith, my religion, whatever. I 1000% don't think that the religion aspect of it, it's God's will, it's in the Bible, you can't give an abortion. Shut up, right? Y'all know the Constitution? The separation of church and state? Yeah, so let's keep the religion out of the government, because not every person in America is a Christian. Fun fact, not all of them are. Not every single person believes in the same thing. And so therefore, with your little book that you have, that you live your life off of, I don't follow that book, okay? I'm not in your little book club. I'm not in that book club. I'm not a part of it. And you can't force other people to be a part of it too. I also should mention the fact, I'm editing the video right now, but I should mention the fact that if we do take this away from women and people with uteruses, women will no longer have bodily autonomy, which is literally in the Constitution, and women aren't mentioned anywhere in the Constitution. So let's talk about that real quick. That's bullshit. Anyways, if you take away the right for a woman to get an abortion, you're taking away the right for her to choose what to do with her own body, which is bodily autonomy. If you don't know what that is, it means you have the right to choose what you get to do with your own body. You get to choose what kind of medical care you get, what kind of, medications, or, I don't know, it's just what you get to choose to do with your own body, and that's going to be taken away from us. I also forgot to talk about the fact that sometimes men think that it should be their decision if it's their baby or whatever. It's half their DNA, so they get half the choice. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because you don't have to carry it for 9 months. You don't have to push it out of your body for a traumatic experience. You don't get to have to go to doctor's appointments, take prenatal vitamins, have the risk for gestational diabetes or lifelong diabetes. If you get gestational diabetes, there's a chance that you can have it lifelong. just by getting pregnant and having a kid. I also forgot to mention that America is one of the one of the countries that has the highest mortality rates for birthing, like birth mortality rates, which means that the mother dies or the baby dies. So even if you wanted her to go through with the entire pregnancy, hi Luna, there's still a chance that she could die giving birth to it. What do you think? What do you think? There's also, women only get 12 weeks off of work, unpaid. What? Oh, she reached for me. Mommy's filming. Another thing I should have brought up is that if Republicans were allowed to say, it's my body, it's my choice, for masks, why doesn't that work for abortion? Why can't a woman say it's my body, my choice? And why did they get away with it and we can't? Taking away the right to an abortion is only going to get rid of safe abortions. People are still going to get them and they're going to die trying to do so. So, I hope that sticks with you. And I hope that makes you feel like garbage, because it should. So, I think that's gonna have to be everything because I'm out of iPhone storage, but basically, I just don't think that the religion should go into the process of deciding whether or not this is gonna even go through, because not everybody believes in the same religion, right? We know that. So we can't force it on others, right? Christian people get angry when the gays force their beliefs down onto them. But then Christians are the worst. Like, Christians, honestly, are some of the worst people I've ever met. They're horrible. They don't care about people. They don't care. They do, but I don't know how to explain that whole aspect part of it, but I don't know how to explain that whole part, but basically, religion should not be an aspect in this. It shouldn't. It should have no place in this. No rights, no decisions, no nothing. No nothing, right? Okay. Well, if I keep talking about this, I'm going to get really mad, and I can't, so I'm going to leave and go do something else.